very curious about what textile recycling you're most excited about, and like what you're seeing like that's most promising in this space, and how it works. Like,
yeah, so to be absolutely transparent, Terracycle to date hasn't quite tackled the challenge of recycling textiles. I think we have a couple of quite exciting projects running at the moment, specifically around tights. So there has been a lot of R&D phases to establish what is the right recycling process, for example, a tight product. Yeah, we haven't quite launched this yet, and we're still in the starting phase of the textile recycling. But hopefully, happy to share with you as soon as something comes out. But yeah, so I know that we are definitely developing solutions here as well in this industry. But typically we would be focusing on hard to recycled plastics, for example, or more complex materials.
Yeah, and just a note on this.
And is it?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just curious about the process. If anybody else knows too, maybe Courtney, is it like shredding of the, like for tights, like shredding of the fabric, and then is it trying to like weave it back into some sort of a thread? Is that the process that they're kind of playing with?
So by no means am I the material and operations expert, but typically that's the process it would go through. So obviously the garments would be washed, and then depending on the product itself, it would be shredded, and typically it would be put back into pellets, especially if we're looking at sort of like plastic base. So most of the tights are, you know, made out of potentially nylon, and those would be shredded. And then try to reintegrate, not necessarily into a new fiber, but something that you could possibly integrate into a new textile. But exactly what that new raw material looks like, I don't have the visibility on that today.
Hey, I'll just jump in because you might like to read. I have a blog post about recycling, like clothes being recycled. It's called "Can Clothes Really Be Recycled?" And it goes through like the two main ways that clothes are recycled, which is mechanical recycling and chemical recycling. And you can read a little bit more about it. I actually went to a recycler in Hong Kong about a year and a half ago, and they have both. They have two different types of chemical recycling and one mechanical recycling facility. And they literally showed us the whole thing and how it all works. It's absolutely mind blowing. And I wrote this whole story about it, but I won't blab on too much about it, but it's, yeah, it's quite fascinating.